Hi, I'm Maya. Today we're going to be making this cute little card. It has two little cactuses on it, and on the coffee cup or on the pot, you can write your own message. So it's a cute card. Let's get started. I went ahead, and this is just watercolor paper, and I cut it in half so it makes a nice 4x6 card. I'm going to go ahead and tape along. Like this will be the front of the card when you fold it. This will be the front. And so I don't paint on the back. I'm gonna go ahead and put some masking tape right along the edge here so I can try to be a clean artist instead of a messy artist, right? I may also just tape it down so we're just good to go. Okay, so you can go ahead and check out the description below for the colors that I'm using today. I really love this bright grinchy green is what I call it, but we do have the Quinacridone Magenta and then the phthalo greens and then black and white. So this grinchy green, I call it, is a brilliant yellow green. And that's also in the description below. I'm gonna try to stick to these 4 brushes right here. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so to start with, we're gonna go ahead and start with the magenta. You can go ahead and get your brush a little bit wet and then load up your brush with magenta both sides. And we're gonna do a crisscross action. Just do a crisscross action. Oh, I went above my card. So just an X, we don't need to be real smooth here. Okay, so this time when I load up, I'm gonna go ahead and grab just a little bit of white on one side, and that's just gonna add a variation of color as we do our crisscross action. More magenta, only a little bit of the white. So for this card, I would highly recommend all paint marks. The more texture we can get into this one, the better, I think, personally. But if you like things smooth, obviously you can do it any way that you want. I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing the more textured paint marks. I really like them. Just a touch more of my white down here in the corner. And this is a pretty small card. Like I said, I believe it's 4x6. And I'm gonna make it for a friend today, so. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and let that dry so you can rinse out your brush. And we're gonna go ahead and let this dry. For me, I'm gonna go ahead and use my blow dryer real quick. Okay, so now we are back. I went ahead and used my blow dryer to dry it. So this is all nice and dry. You definitely wanna have it be dry for the next step. So now we're gonna go ahead, you can use any brush you want. I'm gonna use this smaller filbert. It says it's a filbert 8. And what we're gonna do is you can either use the tracer that is provided in the description below, and you can trace the cactuses on. I'm gonna go ahead and just fill them in here, but you can use the outline to put on here as well. I'm gonna grab a little bit of my white and we're gonna block in the cactus and the pot area. And so the first cactus is a tall, lovely tall lady right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and block her in. And if you're kind of sketching along with me, we're gonna do a long one here. And then this coffee cup is going to be a little bit round, so you can do like a U shape at the bottom. Really simple shapes. We're just blocking in right now. And then we want her to go all the way up, or him, all the way up. I'm gonna put flour in her hair though. Grab some more white. And then this one, yes, I want to be a little coffee cup. So a little U shape and then a little handle off to the side. I need to get that on the edge of my brush so I can put that on the edge of your brush. That way you can get the line that you want. All right, so that cactus is blocked in. Again, we're just blocking it in with white. The other one, we're gonna do a little pot. And I'm gonna start with the face. I'm gonna make a kind of a large U shape. And then there'll be a little one that comes off the side. A little cactus off to the side, one off the top of her head. She went a little too tall. Oh well, that's okay. They're all different and they can all be different, which is the fun of this. Make that wider. All right, and then for the pot, we're just gonna do a rectangle down here. Nice little rectangle, and then a square, little rounded bottoms, just a square rounded bottoms for the pot. We'll do another coat of the white, so don't worry about it being streaky or some of the pink is showing through right now. That's totally okay. This is just the first run. And then now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the cactus part where we get to go ahead and fill in the green. All right, so go ahead and rinse out your brush. And you can dry it a little bit as well. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab that dark green and a little bit of white. So I have white on one side and green on the other, and that's just to load up my brush and paint in. Don't go over the cup or the pot. We're just filling in the cactus part right now. And see those beautiful dark lines that happen? That's what we want. We don't want to make it real smooth. It's a cactus. So if we reference the photo right here, you're going to want those dark green lines. So we're going to paint in this vertical motion. I don't know, whatever brush works for you. We can add like more detailed lines after we get the green painted in. So we're just filling it in here. Don't want to go too dark. Oh, look at that. That was a beautiful line of dark green right there. So I love that. Got some dark greens in that area. And then I'm going to grab a little bit more green, and then now I'm going to go ahead and get that Grinchy green. And we're going to lighten up the cactus. So instead of pushing hard down, we're just going to lightly go in between those dark green lines, but we definitely want to lighten this up a little bit. Oh, I got a lot on the top. That's totally okay. A little sun's going to be shining up there. A lot on the side there. And again, you're just doing kind of these vertical strokes. If it goes too wide, you can just put your paintbrush in there and spread it out. So this is what's fun about wet paint together. So we have some dark colors and light colors, and we don't want to blend them all in. We want them to make their marks. And see, I like how that's looking. I like how bright the face is. And right here is where we're going to be the face. So I'm going to actually go a little bit lighter and kind of blend right here, just so her face kind of shows up. So I'm going to get rid of like those lines, and I'm just going to spread it out a little bit because I know the face is going right there. So I definitely want the lines to be everywhere else. I'm going to grab a little bit more of my dark and just do some streaks, streaky dark here at the bottom, and then streaks of dark at the top. There we go. Maybe one along this edge here. Okay. So I like how that's looking. I'm not going to rinse my brush out because I'm still just playing with green. So I'm going to load up with some more dark green and a little bit of the white, and we're going to go to the next little guy. I wish, you know what, I might fix this because I don't love how tall he got. So I might fix that. Easy fix. That's the beauty about acrylics, is we just paint over. And there's always an ugly stage. It took me a long time to realize that there was an ugly stage. And I think I quit a lot of the time at the ugly stage, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm only gonna go about that high with that guy. And I'm gonna paint the rest pink again, or magenta, whatever you wanna call it. So this, not leaf, but this part of the cactus is gonna be in front of this back one. And so fill in the back one first and then fill in the front so that you get kind of a different color, maybe even a little bit darker. And then same thing on this side. You want these two to kind of be in the front, and then this one is totally in the front. So your last stroke will kind of outline that face. And again, since the face is gonna go right here, we're gonna blend it out. And now we're gonna grab more of that light green or grinchy green. And again, I'm gonna start with that middle leaf and just kind of make it streaky. And then for this one, I'm gonna go light on top of her head. And since we kind of got some light, the light's gonna be coming in from here. So we're gonna lighten this side. Again, I'm gonna blend the face in. The rest of it can be pretty streaky, but where her little cute face is gonna go, I'm gonna go ahead and blend it. So, okay, I like how that's looking. I do want some more dark streaks in here. So I'm not washing out my brush. I'm just grabbing more green. This is the fun part. Make it streaky and fun. And in the end, it's just gonna hint that it's a cactus. And so, and if you wanna get a smaller brush for this part and add like more delicate lines, you totally can do that too. I'm just gonna, because we're gonna add some other details on top that are gonna make it cute. But see, just add some, I'm gonna go a little dark on the side here. There we go. Okay. Go ahead and rinse out your brush, and then we are going to let this dry completely and move on to the little prickles on the cactus and the face. Okay, so now that that is all dry and you kind of have where the face is gonna be, it's gonna be blended out, we're gonna grab a smaller brush. So I have two of them right here, a 4 and a 3. This is a good one to get like a small brush that you feel good about, that you can flick and get a sharp point. So I'm gonna dip this one in water and take the black and get a little bit, not too watery, but just add a drop or two of water to the paint. I'm gonna take this brush and roll it so I have that nice point. I'm gonna start with the flicks so that I feel more confident as I go. Okay, so we're just gonna follow the dark green lines that you had created, and you're just gonna add a little flick up. So start at the bottom and flick up, and you should get that little point at the top. And when you need to reload your brush, just reload it with black. You don't always have to do 2. And again, leave that face area open. And so like you could do just 1. You can go a little smaller. So a lighter touch is gonna give you this, like a smaller dash. There we go, like that. That's kind of good. Or you can always just get a smaller brush, will also help. So little sharp prickles everywhere. I'm gonna follow this dark green line down. Kind of do opposite directions, back and forth, little V's. Couple. Oop, got a little thick on that one, no big deal. Okay, so I like that for that one. Maybe one more up here. Oop, too big. That's all right. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here. Remember not to do too many on the face, maybe just a couple at the bottom. And definitely on the edges. So on the edge of where the green is, I need to fix that. So I'm not gonna put the edges on yet right there because I'm gonna paint that in with pink. But you definitely wanna cross over the green and the pink. Need a little bit more paint. That way they go out. And then just follow those green lines you already made. Just making marks, making cute. Oh, I wasn't gonna go up there. I already said that. So cute. Little flickies. I love this card. All right, so now that we're a little bit more confident with the paintbrush, we're gonna go ahead and fill in their cute little face. I'm gonna start with this little guy, and as you can see on the example here, we're just gonna make 3 U's. So it's gonna be very, very easy. So I'm gonna roll that brush, get it to the sharpest edge that I can as I start. Kind of plan out where my U's are. A little U here for the face and a little U here. So cute. And then a big happy smile. And put little edges on her mouth. All right, and then for this one, we're gonna do 2 circles and then the mouth. So again, I'm gonna load up that black, roll the brush and pull it to get that sharp edge. And let's see, I think I might do her mouth first and then fill, oh, these even look like eyelashes up here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and connect them. And then you're gonna fill those circles in with black and we'll wait for that to dry and we will totally add some white to give some details. I'm gonna do a couple lines off of her eyes for actual eyelashes, but those look cute too. All right, we're gonna rinse out your brush. And for me, I'm gonna fix this really quick because I need to paint in the background. So I'm gonna grab my little one. So this is really great though, because it kind of helps you see that even though I totally messed up and went too high, look at that, I just paint right over it. And even if I have to do a couple layers, it's gonna be good. It's gonna fix it. We can always fix mistakes. So, you know, it might end up being like my favorite part of the painting, who knows? So yeah, it looks like I might have to go over it one more time. So I'll wait for that to dry. But there, see? There we go. Okay, so next we're gonna go ahead and grab more white and do that second coat of white on the pot and on the coffee cup. Remember to keep your rectangle so you kind of have that edge, that shape on your pot. Little rectangle. We'll add some more details here later. We're just blocking in. Now that that white is all dry, we can do that second layer. And then it will be really solid. So we did 2 layers. If it still isn't solid enough, you can always come back and do a 3rd layer, however many you need. And I'm gonna square that edge up because it wasn't quite square enough. And then I'm gonna fill my cute little coffee cup in. And yeah, you're gonna make somebody's day by painting them a card. How fun is that? Or you can even make yourself a little picture. I don't know, I just think these little cactus guys are cute. And I was inspired by a friend that I actually made for her. I live in Arizona, and it's really hot here, and I was trying to make the heat tolerable, and these cute little cactuses seem to help that. But yes, this design came because I was inspired to make a card for a friend. I think that's when our best work happens. Okay, so I'm all done filling this in. This looks fine to me. I like how mine looks. If you want to do a third, go ahead and do a third coat. Just wait for this coat to dry. Okay, so next we are going to, if we see on our example again, we're going to have these cute little pink dots, and we're going to go ahead and make a flower up here on this cactus. All right, so to make the cheek color, I'm going to go ahead and use my same small brush that we used for the cactus, and I'm going to get a little bit of that magenta and then a little bit of white, and I'm going to make it pretty watery. So I'm going to add maybe 2 or 3 drops of water to this. So this is a cute pink. I like it. So find whatever kind of cheek color you like, and we're just gonna make circles right above where their little smiles end. So just a cute little circle right there, and a little cute circle right here. And when you're painting it, right now it looks dark, but in the end, it's gonna be it will blend. So don't stress too much about it being like not faded enough, I guess. It's gonna be great. I kind of got stressed out about mine for a little bit. That's why I say that. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the flower. And for the flower, I'm gonna use the same pink, but I'm gonna add just a touch of that Grinchy green. Odd, I know, but it's gonna give us this orangey color because the green has a lot of that yellow in it. And so maybe a little bit more of the magenta, a little more of the green, and you kind of get this coral color, orangey peach. I like that. All right, and now we're just gonna make a 5-star flower. So I'm gonna figure out where my middle is, which is gonna be right about here. And I'm just gonna draw petals out from there. 5 cute little petals, like a star shape of 5 little petals. All right, and then I'm gonna block that in with a little bit of the white. So I'm gonna go a little bit lighter pink right here, and we'll go over it again with that coral color. So again, we're just blocking in the flower right now. Doesn't have to look perfect. This is just to get the shape of the flower in there and make it stand out from the background. There. Okay, we're gonna wait for that to dry. Okay, so while that is drying, rinse out your brush and put a little bit more just plain magenta on your brush. And so you can do whatever you want on the pots. You can put 2 messages, say I love you. For this one, I'm gonna put miss you on this one, and then a heart on this one, because I just love the little heart. So make sure your white is dry, and then we're gonna do a little heart on the front. Oh, see, brush is too wet there. A little too wet. I didn't dry it enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and really squeeze out the water in my paper towel. Grab more magenta. Try again. Make a pretty heart. And we'll come back and outline this heart. I really like this painting for all the texture in it. I like the fact that you don't have to smooth out there's no smoothing everything out. It's very textured, and I really like that. Okay, well, since I messed up earlier, I'm gonna go ahead before we move on to the next step, and I'm gonna just fix this guy. Maybe I'll edit this part out, who knows. Okay, So we're gonna go back to this flower and we're gonna do, we have our coral color. I'm gonna mix up a little bit more of that coral color, which again is the magenta, a little bit of the green, and then some white. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and dip my brush first into just plain magenta. I'm going to go to the left of each flower petal. So that's be the right and this would be the left. So on the left-hand side, on each flower petal, I'm gonna put that darker magenta color. Maybe for this one, I'll put it on this side. I'm going to tap in the middle. All right, and then I'm going to wipe off my brush, no water, just wipe off my brush. I'm going to get some of that coral color that has some of the green in it, and I'm going to go on the right side. Yeah, there we go. I like that. Cute little flower. And then grab maybe a little bit of that grinchy green. I'm gonna poke a couple dots in the center of that flower. Yeah, that'll work for me. Okay, so go ahead and rinse out your brush. And now we're gonna do all the black outlines and all the white highlights. So we'll start with the black first. So you want to get a pretty small brush for this part. And again, you can always add a little bit of water to it so that it does thin it out a little bit and makes it run smoother, because these are like the little lines that are going to outline. So again, I'm going to roll my brush and pull it to a nice point. I'm going to outline my little pot. Oh, before we do that, back up. Before we do black and white details, just kidding. Okay. Okay, for the next step, we're gonna add a little bit of shading to our little pots here. And so I'm going to get my little angle brush because it kind of has a sharper edge, and I'm going to get mostly white, but I'm going to get a touch of this black, and I'm going to mix up just a light gray, but I'm going to put white on my brush, okay? And we are just going to add a little bit of gray on the left and the right hand side. See how there's a little bit of gray in my brush? I can already see it. And then a little line underneath the pot right here. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of black. But since I have white on my brush, it shouldn't, you know, be too dark, because we don't want too dark. And then I'm going to blend in the gray on the side there, and then a little bit of gray here. And if it does go too dark, go ahead and just add white and blend it in. There we go. And see, that's a little bit too dark for me, but I knew that I wanted that gray in there. And so then I'll just blend out and put some more white in the middle and blend it out to the sides there, just like that. More white for this one, next to my heart. Blend out that gray. I might even wipe off my brush. Rinse it. Clean it off and get just white. See, and since the paint is wet, it's just very easy to blend those colors in. Again, this one, I love texture, so for this one. There. Now we got a little depth to our coffee cups, and we'll let those dry as we add little white dots to our face. okay? So go ahead and get your smaller brush out, and we're gonna go ahead and add some, get white on your paintbrush. Again, you can roll it, or you can even, if you want for the dots to be really circular, you can dip the back of your paintbrush and you can practice on your palette and dab it, and you'll see how big your circle is on the back of your brush. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 3 little dots. I'm gonna touch real light. I don't know, that might be too big. I'm gonna go with my brush side. So I'm gonna put 3 little dots in here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a little close, so I'm gonna add another one. And then I'm gonna roll my brush, get that sharp edge again, more white paint. Now I'm gonna go on the outside. So you're gonna make a little half moon shape on the outside of the circle, all the way around the eye, just like from the middle top to the middle bottom. More white paint. Roll it for the sharp edge, and this one's gonna be on the other side, a little half moon. So light touch here, very light touch. Look at her eyes, she's so cute. All right, I love her little face. I hope you love your little face. Okay, now I am gonna dip the back of my paintbrush for those dots, and I'm gonna add some cute dots on my flower. And these are gonna be along the right side. I'm gonna put about 3 dots on each one. I had a lot of paint on that one, so that one kind of globbed. So you can always dip it in the paint and then dab a couple onto your palette, and then I'll take some of it off. But those are just like some highlights. Wipe the edge of your brush and go ahead and rinse out the white from your brush, and we'll get ready to add some black details. Okay, for this part, I'm gonna be writing, so I need to tilt this a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off my tape right here. See that nice clean edge? Oh, it's stuck a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it so that I can write right here. Okay, so I'm gonna get that same small brush and I'm gonna add black. To the small paintbrush. And I'm gonna outline my heart. Again, very light touch to get a thinner edge. And this here, you can also use like a Sharpie or a Posca marker, you know, something that you can have a little bit more control over. For the brush, you just want to keep doing the roll and the pull for that sharp edge, and try to get even a liner brush. Really thin brush is going to help, but also a light touch is going to help. All right, and so I'm going to outline around my pot. I'm not going to go underneath. I'm just going to go around it. It's such a cute little card. And then on top of the pot as well. And then on top of this one, kind of gives the illusion that it's going inside. And then just gonna outline the black, or outline the coffee cup. Outline the inside there. And the outside. Okay. So it's all outlined, looking pretty cute. Again, you can put whatever message you want in here. My white is a little bit dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my blow dryer out real quick and dry it. So you do wanna make sure your white is all dry. I'm gonna put "I miss you" for my message. or just miss you, I guess. Not I miss you, just miss you. I'm gonna do block or capitalized letters. I'm gonna do capitalized letters because those to me are the easiest to write with a paintbrush. So again, I'm gonna get that sharp edge. Kind of plan out how far my miss is gonna go. And light touch. Miss. Need some more paint. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I would love to see what you created. So please share your beautiful creations with me. So miss you. Bonk. And then I'm gonna do back of my paintbrush and the cute little 3-dot trick. Just makes it cute. And even if you want, like, you know, dots, more dots on your cactus, this is when you could add just, you know, any little dots that you might want. Any little extra cute details. Who doesn't love dots? You know what I'm saying? All right, well, thanks for joining me today. And again, share with me what you created. I hope this was fun for you. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.